Hi, welcome to another video. It's been a month since I started HRT. I said I'm gonna post a video 1 week after. I didn't do that. I just like I it's not that I forgot about it because I knew. I just couldn't get myself to like record a video. Multiple reasons. I'm still not comfortable with like looking at myself. Still not comfortable with like how I look in like videos and stuff. But I do want to document this, and I think that I'm at a point where I can like point out to certain changes that I've noticed and that are there for sure, and I think are like small milestone, even if it's not like huge. It's a milestone regardless. So yeah, after I recorded the video, I was super attentive to like any changes that I noticed. Like I've been super fucking happy these days. Is that also part of the treatment? And I don't think so. Like looking back at it, and at that point, I would like think, well, what's like most likely that you're super happy because it's something that you've wanted your whole life and you got it now, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm actually going through it, like, or that in like a few weeks you kind of like your whole mood shifted and now you're like super happy, which because of the hormones, which probably probably might be a combination of both. Might be like the hormones influencing what is already there and like enhancing what's already there. What I can attribute to like hormones is a change that I noticed like I want to say like a week ago, maybe like three, well, a week, yeah, at about a week ago, I woke up and I was checking my skin, and like the days before I was like, huh, that's weird. I kind of like feel my skin slightly softer. It feels kind of softer. And that morning I woke up and like I touched the skin and I felt soft, but I also noticed that it was squishy. It was like getting squishier, which was something that I had not noticed before about my skin. And I, well, I used to do like a lot of like workouts for my arm, and so my arms were like super, I guess, sturdy, like stiff, like muscly. But now I have that like an extra layer of fat underneath the skin, if it makes sense. And that was one of the changes that I had seen and that my doctor like told me about. Like one of the first changes that most trans women experience when going through the treatment is one, the oils in your skin is like the oil production is like reduced, and two, your skin gets really soft and you can notice like your skin getting squishier, and that happened. um Apart from that, I don't think that I've noticed any other change. I'm starting my second month right now. I got my refill for the treatment today. Another thing that I do want to talk about is my blood work. So I got my blood work drawn out a couple of days after starting HRT, and I have been taking my HRT sublingually, which is like you take the pill and you put it under your tongue and it dissolves. Um, I would just wait there for like 10 minutes until it like fully dissolved, and the results came back, and I remember looking at the results, and my estrogen levels were high, comparing them to like male levels and female levels, and I was like, oh shit, I'm winning at this. I'm actually good. Actually succeeding. I'm too good at transitioning. I'm like on another level, and I was like, oh, that's curious, but like I don't know if it's because I started recently and like the body isn't really, or the receptors aren't really working properly yet, so like the estrogen is still in the blood circulating, and that's why there's a high circulation. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a biologist. I'm not a med student. I'm not a doctor. But I was just speculating. And I went to talk with my doctor to discuss the lab results. And she did mention, like, everything else is fine, but you do have high estrogen levels, which is like weird because you had started like not that long ago. So, like, why do you have high levels? And she had asked me if I had started HRT before, if I had already been in HRT. I told her no. I told her that I had just been taking the pill. I'm taking them twice a day. And yeah, I had been doing that consistently, pretty consistently. So I didn't really have a clue as to why. But I kept asking her, like, is this normal? Is this a problem? And she's like, well, not necessarily. We should wait for like the 3 month blood results and see how the levels are there before we start like um jump into conclusions, and before we like take any like decisions of like maybe reducing the dosage or like whatever. But then I mentioned that I told her specifically, well, I'm also dissolving the pills. I'm like putting them under the tongue and like letting them dissolve. Is that okay? And she's like, you fucking whore. She was like, oh, that's why. And apparently, she told me don't do that. Um, she told me just take them normally. And I'm gonna like take them normally because at the end of the day, she is the doctor and she's following the guidelines for a reason. And if the levels should be at a specific threshold, then, you know, me not being a med student and or like none of that, best I can do is like follow the advice and like. But yeah, apparently like taking it sublingually really spikes up the levels. So that's something that you want to discuss with your doctor when you get your prescription. Check if like taking it sublingually is a route that you should take, or if it's maybe that you should take like further on if the levels are not stable or are not high enough or whatever. So yeah, I was doing it because I had seen stories of like other trans women doing it and saying like, oh, I got better results this way, and I got like more stable levels this way. So who knows? Who knows? That's super important. If you're like in that part of your transition where you're starting to like medically transition, being comfortable and having a doctor in which you can like talk to and be like, well, I have these concerns, or like I'm worried about this, or I want this specifically. What can I do to like achieve that? That's super important. Um, Another thing that I did discuss with her is the possibility of adding testosterone blockers to my treatment. So right now I'm just taking estradiol, and that's it. Like no T blockers, no antiandrogens, no spironolactone, none of that. I'm just taking the estradiol. She was like, well, let's wait for the 3 months, see if everything is still okay, and then we can add that. So hopefully 3 months, that will be in like August, beginning of August. So if everything is fine, then by August I should probably be starting like T blockers, and then by that point, changes are gonna happen, bitch. Changes will for sure happen by that point. I hope so. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Um, I'll have another update either if I notice like a big change in the middle of the month, or by the end of the month to like talk about the changes that I have experienced during that month. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Goodbye. Okay, bye.